Howdy partners. Haven't been on the bike for a while, but today's a gorgeous day. I'm through the vineyards right on the edge of the forest, and they said this afternoon is going to be rain, and there's strange looking clouds up there which seem to foretell it. And into the valley you can see very, very far today, which is often so just before there's some rain. You get incredible long distance views into the valley. I don't know why it is, must be some kind of diffraction of the air or something scientific that I'm not aware of. A strong south wind. So I'm gonna just potter around, been doing some little shots for B-rolls. I've been busy on a project since March. I've been filming an artistic happening, a symposium of sculpturists. That was 5 sculpturists from around the world came into our little village in Germany and set up some. Well, first of all, we went to the quarries and got the stones out of the quarries and brought them back, and spent some time watching the artists making their works of art and putting them up in the park. And I've got to distill this down into a little film now, and I thought I'd come out for a bike ride to try and plan it in my head a little bit, but it's quite difficult. I've got about 600 gigabytes of material at home, and I have been doing a kind of updates on YouTube and just making little videos of parts of it. But I want to bring it all together into a whole now. But that's very difficult to do it and be objective about it. I like to edit the film so it's about an hour long, and maybe, I'm not sure about having narration on it, because the problem is I would have to do the narration in German too, and my German's pretty good but not that good, and I hate the sound of my voice, especially in German. Und ich glaube, das wird ganz schwer zu machen in Deutsch. So I'm just wandering around today and looking for some nice shots. If anyone's got any ideas about little ideas about making a film. I know it's difficult if you don't see the footage, but we'll see. So I'm going to lose my height now, which I've painfully gained. But I'll get on the other side of the valley. I'll be alright. No pain, no gain. Sometimes think autumn's my favourite time of the year. Got brown sunglasses on, so everything looks much better in the sunglasses than in reality. cycling's usually quite a good way of getting your thoughts in order, whether it's for a project or something you've got to do, or needing to think out some problems. And today it's such a beautiful day. It's even too beautiful to think. But it's been a tough year this year. A lot of hurdles to jump over, family hurdles, personal problems, and hopefully soon there will be a light at the end of the tunnel. And yeah, it's just great to get out on the bike and kind of forget your worries for a while and just let the mind be bathed in the beauty of the scenery. So it's been interesting doing this symposium, doing this film about these artists, because you can laugh at it if you want, art is, what is this art? But in a way, without any art or culture, there's no meaning to life, is there really? It would just be like a chipmunk or a squirrel or a bird, and all they're bothered about is existing and getting enough food to feed the chicks or feed the baby animals. And we've got to do that, but as the man said, man cannot live by bread alone. You need something else. And I think that something else could be art. A lot of people say, why? What's the point? It's a waste of time. Well, if you look at anything and think about it objectively, working in a factory making exhaust for cars, or working in a factory making sofas, so other people come work in factories to buy the stuff you've made. It's all pretty pointless, isn't it? And you've got to find meanings. Some people use religion for the meanings. Some people use consumption. Some people money. Some people aesthetic disciplines. Beauty. What is beauty? And that's one of the definitions of art, isn't it? Art is totally useless, but beautiful. And it's also a way of communication without words. Something that humans do. Art. Animals rarely do it. Maybe a few birds who dance for each other. So in a way, art is a way of giving meaning to it all. And often, if you see some work of art and you don't understand it, sometimes it can't be said in words. You can maybe just like it and not know why you like it. It doesn't need no translating into different languages. You could say art is the language of the soul. I guess art is about not taking everything for granted. Appreciating beauty. And once you get into art, really, there's a whole secret world waiting for you. You can look at lots of things, and if you let your mindset go in the artistic way, then you might see lots of things which would otherwise have passed you by. I was brought up very religious, and I sort of shied away from it when I was about 14. And I can understand people who are into it. My dad, for example, he's really into it. And I don't mind it at all. I think everyone should take whatever gets them through the night, and as long as it makes you happy and satisfied, there's nothing wrong with it at all. It's just when people try to coerce me into it, Jehovah's Witnesses or the priest says, do you want to join the congregation, and welcome and that. And yeah, it's kind of, one side it's just a social thing, but I don't like people pressuring me into believing what they believe. And that's the great thing about art. It's just about one of the only things left that's not regulated, which is not controlled. It's the last boundary of freedom in a way. Everything else is controlled of rules. I think anyone can be an artist, and you don't have to do it drawing pictures or sculpting. You can do it through medium film. Lots of different ways to be an artist, and there's no rules. That's a great thing, no rules. It's a bit anarchistic still. People often say that art is a waste of money. Feed the starving millions with that money. But the money that's been spent on art is negligible, peanuts. When you think of the money that's been spent on weapon systems and atomic bombs and military, you know, people somehow think that's okay. They can live with that. They don't mind making or spending all that money on things which were just going to be destroyed or destroy other things and become obsolete and be scrapped for nothing. People don't seem to have a problem with that waste of money. But if there's a sculpture put in town and it's contentious and people don't like it, everyone gets up in arms about it. All relative, isn't it? And at least with a piece of art, you know, when the artist's dead, and if it's a good piece, then it's something for generations to enjoy. Whereas this mad consumerism that we've got now, all we're doing is wasting all the resources. How dare they? How dare they? How dare you? I agree with what Little Greta says, but I don't think her delivery is a good idea, a good way. She reminds me of a mullah dictating, finger pointing, shaking. And a lot of people react negatively to that. and automatically take the opposite point of view, which is only a nipper and doing the best. And it's right in a way. Got to start thinking about things. We're screwing it all up, the world. And I think the biggest thing we've got to talk about is growth. Can't have this continual growth all the time. There'll be nothing left. We'll eat up the world till there's nothing left. And you always see it on the news. 1.3% growth. Growth's not too good this year. China's doing better. That's got 11% growth. We need to have 11% as well. Got to get bigger. I think that's the way capitalism works. It's got to keep growing all the time, otherwise it dies. And we're reaching the limits now of what can be sustained, and that's why we're seeing all these problems in the world. But I can imagine a big white-bearded God sitting on a chair laughing his head off, going, "Go on lads, go on people, do it." And the sea rises and washes us all away again. We're laughing his head off. Time's immaterial to him. Wipe the slate clean for 1,000,000 years and start again with something else. But, maybe it'll be just to prove that we were stupid monkeys. I don't know what it is about them clouds, it so fascinates me. That one over there looks like the Enterprise. And get the camera out and film some clouds soon. We're sitting in a grapevine at the moment. This is stolen property. Yeah, that sound of the corn rustling and the wind blowing, or waves on the seashore. They call that brown noise, perhaps from Brownian movement, and it's the sound of billions and billions of molecules, billions and billions of molecules, and billions and billions of molecules all rubbing together and creating a pleasant sound to our ears, rather than discord sound, which is white noise, which is like the sound of your TV or a radio not tuned in properly, and that sort of chaotic. Yeah, it's chaotic, like this is chaotic as well, but it's discord. There's no harmony in it. It's probably because it's created by electricity and electrons banging into each other. That kind of noise. That's white noise. And there's pink noise too, but I'm not sure what pink noise is. But brown noise is quite a comforting sound, really. Soporific. You could lay down in that field and just listen to it blowing away and look up in the sky at the clouds, and you would just drift off, hypnotise you. I've just seen a big leaf floating up from the field, like magic it was. soporific. So we'll just go down to the edge of the cornfield now and put the camera right there, and I'll get some tick bites on my legs. We'll see if we can get the clouds and the corn. Why? Because we can. So that's one of my little tricks, is put the camera on bent and the head is smooth enough to just pan round on its own. There's a chance the camera will fall over, but you know, that's a risk you got to take. Now I've got to be quick because there's a plane coming in, I want to film it.